On everyone. So yesterday the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder in blowout fashion. They lost 133 to 110. And after the first quarter, right, the Lakers midway through or so had a 14-point lead. And then after that, it was just complete domination by the Oklahoma City Thunder the rest of the way. This game, again, it's frustrating because it's like every time the Lakers play a good team or a very good team, they just seem to get blown out, right? This is something that has been happening with regularity. I don't mind the Lakers losing games. I understand that they're injury issues. I understand that, the Lakers are coming off of a back-to-back. I get all those things, but it's a trend with the Lakers to lose these games in blowout fashion. I mean, the Lakers, almost all of their losses have came in blowout fashion. And I've had people push back and say, oh, that's not the case. The Lakers have been close, or it's been okay. Like, they only have a couple blowout losses. And you look at they have 2 blowout losses in their last 3 games against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Dallas Mavericks game, right? They were down 20 going into the fourth quarter, right? And that's a game that they should have won, but that was basically a blowout game the entirety of the way, except for that fourth quarter where the Lakers really climbed back into it, right? So if you look at that, you're talking 3 blowouts in the last 5 games. But okay, let's remove the Mavericks game, right? You have the Sacramento Kings game, which they lost by 15, but again, was basically domination blowout the entirety of the game. So that's 3 games right there. Then you have the Rockets game in which they got blown out, 128 to 94. There's another blowout loss, right? So there's 4? The Orlando Magic, there's 5 where they lost by 19. And then you had the Nuggets game in which they lost by 12, but they were down 20 plus at that time. So again, you're talking the Lakers are currently sitting at 11-9, and 6 of those 9 losses, maybe 7 if you count the Dallas ones, were all in dominant fashion for the other team. It's one thing if the Lakers were losing these games and it was close, it was tight, and it's like, man, if we just had Vando or we just had Rui, maybe that would have went differently. I just don't see that being the case. I don't think Vanderbilt changes any of those games, right? Now, look, once we get everybody healthy, I definitely think the Lakers will be better, right? I definitely think that the Lakers will win more games than otherwise. Maybe some of those games, maybe the Dallas game. Maybe that game, instead of losing, maybe we win with Jared Vanderbilt, right? Because especially with Kyrie, when he hit that big shot, maybe Jared Vanderbilt's on him to prevent that, right? So there's definitely things that you could look back and go, okay, well, maybe there would have been some changes, but for the most part, I don't think that there would have been very many. And that's my concern with the Lakers, is that it's just they have these clear holes, they have these clear issues that go beyond just the guys that are missing. Now, obviously, you have a full roster. If you're healthy, maybe the chemistry gets better, maybe the flow gets better. Guys are in better natural positions. So maybe we don't experience this. I'm not saying completely rule out that the impact of the guys that were miss, right? The Lakers are top 10 in defense right now. Adding just Jared Vanderbilt at worst will make them top 5. The Lakers last season were middle of the pack, and with just Jared Vanderbilt, immediately became number 1. They weren't top 10 before Jared Vanderbilt came. And now you have guys like Cam Reddish, and then when Gabe Vincent gets healthy, right? Taurean Prince, guys like that can really help. The Lakers may end up being a very good defensive team, maybe even the best defensive team once that happens. So then, again, you're going to win more games than otherwise. Now, on another bright note, I said that I wanted the Lakers to go 2-2 over this stretch, right? Given that there would be a back-to-back, I wanted the Lakers to at least win 2 of the road games, especially for a team that's been very bad on the road. Most of their losses have came on the road. They've been a very good home team, but 7 of the losses have been on the road. So I'd really was hoping to see us get 2 of those wins. I figured Detroit was a lock to be 1. There's no such thing as a lock in the NBA. I mean, anybody could beat anybody on any given night, but my hope was that, okay, the Lakers will end up winning. They should win, right? They should win that game. And then if they win that game, I just need them to beat, the Cavs, the Sixers, or the Thunder. And they ended up beating the Cavs. And I thought the Cavs was their better, or one of their better wins thus far this season. But again, Cleveland, they're like a 500 team thus far. What real notable win do we have thus far? If we're being honest, right? The Cavs one was pretty solid, right? But again, they're not like some team that is, in the upper echelons of the NBA. The Phoenix Suns we've beaten twice. The second time I thought was better than the first because they had Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, and both guys were playing well for them. But even then, that game wasn't close until the fourth quarter, towards our late push in the third. And then even the first game, again, we're getting smacked. We were down, 12 in that first Suns game going into the fourth, and we came back and ended up winning that. It's just, the Lakers have this habit of okay, well, we'll just turn it on in the fourth, and more times than not, you're going to lose those games. And that's becoming a problem, right? Most of the wins have came in a relative blown out fashion, and it's against the bad teams, which is good. You want to see the Lakers smack the bad teams, right? Which is why I've said I think the Lakers are a good team, not a great or elite. The elite teams are the handful of teams that you expect to win an NBA championship, right? Then you have the great teams, which are the teams that are pretty much a lock to be in the playoffs and could surprise somebody, right? You got a handful of teams in the NBA that you could see them maybe making the conference finals or just making some noise in the playoffs and are guaranteed to make the playoffs. And then there's the teams that are the fringe playoff teams, but they're not as good as the great teams. They're not as good as the elite teams, but they're better than the bad teams, and they'll be, probably the 6th seed, maybe a play-in team. It's kind of where the Lakers are at right now. Now, another good thing is at this point of the season, we were terrible, right? We had only won 4 games, 5 games, whatever it was, because we started the season 2-10. I would rather be 2 games over 500 right now than the alternative, which is last year. And right now we are the 7th seed, and we're only half a game out of 6th. We're a full game out of 5th, game and a half out of 4th, 2 games out of 3rd, and then 2.5 games out of 2nd. So we're not that far behind to where if the Lakers get healthy, kind of put it all together and go on a nice little run, all of a sudden we could be, a top 3 seed, maybe top 4 seed in the Western Conference. And before the season began, I talked about how I thought the Lakers would be somewhere in that 3 to 5 range. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished, 1 or 2, but I thought more likely than not they'll finish in that 3 to 5 range because I think they're gonna value health over making a push for seeding. But I also thought the Lakers would be a better road team. How did the Lakers get to the conference finals last year? They beat every team on the road. And then they got to the Denver Nuggets, and one team was able to win on the road. The other team wasn't. As soon as the Lakers weren't able to win on the road, guess what? They got beat. And then Denver, they go and win 1 game on the road, and it's the series is over. You're down 3-1 or 3-0, right? And then now they have all the momentum. They're ready to go to a closeout. It's you're done. You're cooked. So I need to see, my biggest concern is the Lakers being so bad on the road. They're excellent at home, and they've been really good in the in-season tournament. But even the in-season tournament games, they had arguably the easiest group out of anybody, right? They should have advanced. That was one of the things that we talked about. If the Lakers don't go undefeated in the in-season tournament thing, then there's really something wrong, right? They should be the team to advance. But now they got to go play the Phoenix Suns again. And more likely than not, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are going to be healthy. The Suns are much better than the last time we played them, right? And it's hard to beat a team 3 times, period, let alone in a month span. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be tough, right? But it looks like the Lakers are going to be starting getting everybody back in the coming days. I'd like everybody back for like that Rockets game, so that way at least everyone kind of has a game under their belt going into that in-season tournament game, rather than Jared Vanderbilt and everybody returning for that game, where it's like, okay, well, now timing's a little off. You got to get your legs under you, all those things. So I have my hopes. I have my optimism, definitely. And I still believe this team can turn it around. I still believe this team can be hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy at some point, but they just have a lot of work to do. We're not there yet, and we're not looking like a team that's heading in that direction yet. But I trust this team. I trust the talent on this team. I trust guys to kind of figure things out. And if we do, I believe we can be terrifying. Now, I still think we need a trade regardless, just because I think that there's blatant holes that need to be addressed. But regardless, even if nothing changes, I do think, like as far as personnel-wise goes, I do think that the Lakers can, if they figure it out, be one of the better teams. I think defensively, they're going to be great. All right, once everybody's healthy, I think they'll be, top 3 to 5 at worst defensively. And then just got to be able to put enough points on the board to balance that out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What did you think? How did you feel about this game? Were you disappointed? Were you understandable, given lack of injury or lack of players because of injury, and then also being on a back-to-back against a young team? However you feel, what your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.